Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to do a setup on the Squier Paranormal Baritone Cabronita Telecaster. And you're going to come along with me, but before I do, I appreciate that so much. Let's get going. So here is the guitar on the bench. Some things about it. It has a 27-inch scale neck. So it's longer than your average 25.5-inch Fender scale. The neck is made of maple, has a 9.5-inch radius. The nut width is 42 millimeters. I almost said inches. 42 millimeters. Has 22 frets. These ones are about 49 thousandths tall. And it's got some vintage style tuners on it. It's got a popular body, El Nico P90 pickups, a string through bridge, and it comes in black, sunburst, and this wonderful surf green. So I bought this from the original owner, never learned to play the guitar, so it's pretty much unplayed. It does have some little scratches, apparently from his dog. I've already tried and they buff out, so the thing's pretty much like brand new. It needs some stuff tightened and that. The strings on this guitar are, what are they? It's tuned B, E, A, D, F sharp, and B. The strings go from 12 to 68. So it's got some honking strings on it. Check that out. So what I'm going to do, I don't think this really needs that much work. I did tighten the truss rod, and the neck goes straight against all this tension, which is quite a bit. And what I'm going to probably do is, I've used my fret rocker already, and these frets are put in really good. I'm like very impressed with this particular Squier on the fret install. What I want to do is maybe super lightly dress them, just to polish them. I'd like to polish them, and I'll treat the board, and set the action, the adjustments, make sure the intonation's on, and make sure everything's tight. So that's what we're gonna do today. So let's get going on it. Now, one thing to note is this isn't necessary. You could skip over this part, but I like polished frets, and I cannot lie, that I really do. And to me, it's like, it costs me a little bit of tape and polish. So to me, it's worth it. You may not think it's worth it, but you'll see how I do it anyway. This is just a super light dressing, because I went over all these frets yesterday with the fret rocker, and there was only like 4 maybe that were high, but they were like really nothing. It wasn't worth doing, so I didn't do it. I was really impressed with this neck. So let's take care of these. Let's polish these babies up. All right, so I think I'm going to start with 800. I'm not going to go any less than that. I'll do some in real time. It seems a little scratchy to me. Let's go like this. I put a straight edge on the neck to make it straight, so I did this. Should always cover the body, and I don't do it this time. I gotta buff it. I'll be a little extra careful. Okay, there's 800. 1,000. Oh, much smoother. Actually, I think I will take my own advice, right? Take my own advice. Now, I paid 120 bucks for this. Came with a little Fender amp, a couple of straps, and a stand. That was a pretty good deal. I don't have any strings like this. That's why I'm preserving the strings. And usually when I do this, I like to do the sides a little bit. Just roll the tape sideways, like into like a loop. Just give it a little going over. You can see how much time this takes. I always show it sped up, but it's a labor of love when you're doing it for yourself. It's worth it though. Okay, so now I'm going to polish them with some mothers for all my mother lovers. And this is just by hand because I went up so high. It only takes a minute. And then I'll wipe them all down. Pretty simple. Okay, now we'll go over the board with some lemon oil. This might be the nicest Indian Laurel fretboard I've seen so far. And it's got a little bit of figuring to it too. Try to show you that. It's really sharp looking. Yeah, that's a nice piece of wood, that fretboard. All right. I don't have another set of strings. I don't think they're worn out by any means. But I don't have nothing in this size or length. Alright, now got this up nice and high. You never want to check the neck like this, because that's going to put a little more bow in it. If you're going to do it on a bench, you want to be up high. Okay, so we got the capo on there. Let's just see where our relief is. Yeah, we want to get rid of that. So we'll tighten this up. I had to loosen it to get it straight so I could dress the frets. Move the string out of the way a little bit. Where are you? Yeah. One thing about a truss rod, don't be afraid of the truss rod. Just make sure you got the right tool. Especially if you're dealing with Allens. You put the wrong Allen in there, it's going to ruin your day. Strip that out. All right, so now, yeah, before I had almost no relief in the neck at all. I don't like a lot of relief. I'm not really used to baritone guitars. Sure, it's in there good. Okay, getting a little snug, but nothing drastic. Yeah, that's just a tiny bit of relief. Get my old eyes a little closer. Yeah, this is hardly anything. Wow. That's the way I want it though, almost no relief at all. So we got about 52 thousandths of an inch, and on the large E we got about 57 thousandths. So we're gonna take it down and see what we can get. Okay, here's where I got it. Look at that. I'm gonna cut the nut just a little bit, and then we'll see what the action is. Here's where it's at. I'll probably make it like 13, 14. All right. Okay, so the nut I've got cut 13 and 14 thousandths. But check this out, at the 12th fret. This was 52 thousandths. Now it's 33 thousandths. That's like low even for a regular guitar. And over here, 44 thousandths. So the action is like just unbelievable. This is like the most impressive Squier I think I've ever worked on. The fact that it has a 27-inch scale and all these heavy string gauges, and the neck is so straight, the frets are put in really well. It's really, I just can't get over it. I mean, I worked on so many player guitars and they were crappy. You know, they really needed all the high frets to be dealt with before you could even get them to play decently. This is impressive. I don't know. It must have been a Wednesday when this thing was made. Okay, we're doing the intonation now. And the first two strings are fabulous. All right, so got the intonation set. Perfect. So my lack of cameras makes it hard to show what's actually happening when I'm doing an intonation, but here, let's check it out. Let's try this string. It's A string. Now you tune it open. It's usually here, but with these strings, it's here, the A string. in tune, then you hit the 12th fret. See, it's right on perfect. Now, if it had went a little bit flat when you hit the 12th fret, then you just take the saddle and move it that way. If it happened to go sharp, then the saddle goes that way too. You move the saddle that way. It's real simple. But I like to point that out every time. For somebody who just came here and trying to learn something about guitars, teach me something while you're at it, would you? So it's perfectly in tune. It's perfectly intonated, I should say. When you play something at the 12th fret, you'll know if it's intonated or not. Perfect. So there's our little teeny tiny pots. So I'm going to tighten them up, they're loose. And a little bit of noise coming from the volume pot. That ought to cure that. And while we're here, we'll do the tone. Maybe hit the switch a little bit. Now it's all running out the front. Okay, I had to turn my lights off. I wanted to show you the scratches in here. See the little scratches? I'm going to buff on them and see how they look. Well, it looks pretty much gone. Got to work on it a little bit more. I've gone up here a little bit using the old McGuire's and coming out. A little bit of elbow grease. I'm going to keep at it. Just about wrap this up. Here's the real crappy bit on this guitar, the way the jack is mounted. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, I'm going to just put the knobs on, and if you notice, these knobs have a little set screw. So in the playing position, I like the set screw to be facing me when I look down, so I know I'm at full volume. Can't get any higher like Nigel Tufnell. So I'm going to put those on. That'll about wrap this up. See, they got a little set screw. Let's try some sounds. We'll do clean first. Okay, let's try a little bit of dirt. So there you have it. That's the setup on this guitar. A quick wrap up of the guitar. Things I didn't like. I didn't like the pots. Sometimes they make noise, sometimes they don't. Just really cheap stuff. The 1/4-inch jack is terrible. This mounting mechanism is terrible. A little square one like a Les Paul would be a huge improvement. The switch didn't seem so bad. Of the pots and the jack, the switch seemed to be the best of the three things. The bridge is good. The pickups sound fine. The tuners could be a little better. They're not the worst tuners, but they're not the greatest either. The neck is the greatest. This guitar has it's an awesome neck on it. It's straight. The fret install is really good. Better than most Mexican Strats and some US Strats. There was like 4 high frets and they were only like 1,000, maybe a couple 2,007-inch tall. It wasn't even worth, you know how usually I'll sand down the 2 and keep checking it till they're all even, then dress them all. It wasn't even worth it. It's really impressed with this neck. It would have been nicer if there was a little bit of a vintage tint on it. But at least there's some gloss to it. You can see the gloss there. I like that. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed this. You can hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I would love that. And maybe I'll get up to 3,000 subscribers yet. I will see you again. Take care, everybody, and keep working on guitars.